know I've gone over this before and a lot of these points, but you know what? If not everyone's watching my videos, or some person gets one video and misses another, whatever. And if it's a repeat, just pass along. But I appreciate you watching. Anyways, I want to talk about, it's not about the environment. Whatever the lie is, trying to sell you, it's not about that. They're using this environment thing, and they've used it for as long as I can go back. Really, look at the Club of Rome, and this whole thing's laid out there, and we're talking 50 years ago, at least. But anyways, really, in my opinion, it's about the control of humanity to the point of slavery of the masses. And we talking slaves like slaves that they brought over on ships, that kind of stuff, or slaves that, when the Irish was enslaved, or slaves like Egypt and that kind of stuff. No, how about China? I'm not talking about that kind of slavery. Slavery is slavery. Is it slavery if you are living, you can't own anything really, you don't really have ownership or anything. So if you don't have ownership, you rely on, for everything else, you rely on everything, everyone. And they want it to be primarily the government. You got to rely on the government for the way to get your food, the way to get your home, the way to pay for it, your apartment, the way to get this, rely on the government for your job. Are you working for the government? Well, you're relying on the government for your job, relying on the government for your pension, relying on the government for whatever it is, programs that you belong to now, or dead, or whatever. Those are small compared to what they're pushing and what they want to do. They're going to keep doubling down and just, accelerating this thing, hitting the accelerator fast. The throttle, just get this going as fast. And then they're making some other propaganda, some other, emergencies going on that they want to make aware to the people through the media, so then they will take their eyes off of what is really important. Because it's important to them. That's their main focus, but they want you to look at this hand while they're doing something with the other hand. So this is going to be a quick video. I just want to talk about what are some of the things the government has really tried selling and has sold to a point that we know now is nothing but a bunch of garbage and propaganda. And this is just scratching the surface of it. Just think about this, and then think about, how did the last 2.5 years go? How did the lockdowns go? How did this stuff go? People reacting and that kind of stuff. My view is that I think it's the same sort of deal with what they're doing with the quote-unquote open borders. I think that is a veer to get people focused on this, and then pushing this thing here. Now we're blaming all these people coming in, these open borders, instead of looking over here to find out what the real problem is, what the real issue is, what one of the other problems are that are more tremendous, worse off. But I'm just going to list some of these, and that'd be it. It's a quick video. So think about it. This is some of the stuff that they've tried to sell to us. They have sold to us. And it's propaganda. Global cooling. How about the mini ice age? That was global cooling. They were scaring people with that. There was I think of magazine articles. There was headlines in the newspapers, that kind of stuff. How about global warming? How about the inconvenient truth by yours truly, Mr. Gore? I say Mr. lightly because I don't like to show respect, but the mini ice age. How about acid rain? Remember, acid rain was huge when I was in elementary school. The ozone emergency with the ozone layer, all that kind of crap. Not saying none of this stuff was affected, but it might have just been barely affected, not to the levels that they sold and they pushed through to make things change and to get different regulations involved. Overpopulation, that still to this date is huge. It's a huge item number for them. But no one thinks about it, overpopulation. So if you take everyone in the world Everyone in the world could live in Alaska, and I think they got over an acre plot each, live comfortably in Alaska. That's how much free land there would be. So overpopulation is nothing like what they're trying to sell us, nothing like what they're telling us. There's nothing to this overpopulation crap. Overpopulation might be too many people, not enough power to control them all. That's just my take on it. How about invisible bug of death? You know what that is? The invisible bug of death. JFK assassination. I know there's some controversy there, but more and more stuff's coming out, and you got to look into it. I mean, really look into it. Vietnam on a whole bunch of aspects. The Ukraine is a democracy. Really, this is not too long ago that this garbage was trying to be sold, shoved down our throats. Ukraine is a democracy. Look at what they've done. They've shut out and they've arrested and that kind of stuff. That they've done is everything but a democracy there. Democracy, I don't like using that term really, but that's what they used. Because democracy is really, what is it? 2 wolves and a sheep deciding what they have for dinner. It's basically what it is, majority rules, whether it's right or wrong. Weapons of mass destruction. Remember that? Fluoride in the drinking water. Yeah, they don't have fluoride in drinking water in most places in Europe, that kind of stuff. But we do in America. Why? Why is there fluoride in the drinking water? And then if you look at it, go to, any sort of place like a Fleet Farm or a Tractor Supply or a place like that, and find the most poison, or a Home Depot even, and look on the back of it. Look at the ingredients. Usually one of the first ingredients in there is fluoride. Well, you got to think about that. So why? And then why was fluoride used back when the whole Nazi regime was going on? Who did they give fluoride to in their water? Look into that and think about it. The syphilis study at Tuskegee. Look into that too, because that was horrendous. Lewinsky scandal. You know Lewinsky, Mr. Bill Clinton, that whole scandal itself. And not only did he lie on the stand, he didn't get punished whatsoever, not even fined, which that was not acceptable anyways. But he didn't even get that. Didn't even get a slap on the wrist. And then he got reelected. And how about the one I'm going to end on here is the Federal Reserve, which is neither. It's not federal. It's like Federal Express. They have nothing to do with the federal government. And it's not a reserve. They have nothing. They have a reserve of not a thing. So the whole title itself, the whole name of themselves, Federal Reserve, is just a complete lie. And then people don't question it because they're not taught how to think in school. They're not taught to question things. They're taught not to question. They're taught to accept. They're taught to, go along with authority and yes sir, no sir, take orders. That's all it is. So that's why it is like it is. But anyways, I know it's a quick video. That's all I was trying to do. Get this across. I really, really hope someone looks into some more of this stuff and does some more digging, because there's so much out there. But if you like this, like, share, subscribe, that kind of stuff. And as always, stay vigilant, yourself, protect your family, and protect your health.